Day with Caleb. I got my movie crew shirt on, and this is kind of a dive into memory lane. In a previous video, I brought up the idea of showing some of my trips before I had a YouTube channel, but my YouTube channel wasn't necessarily about me. It was our short spoof films. That was the dedication for that. I've done a video on that before, Jack 23 Studios, on this channel, so go check that out. And it is linked if you want to check out short films we did, me, my brother, and a bunch of friends, if you want to have a good laugh. But we'll start with California. California. Comment down below what movie that's from. And I thought we would do a bunch of these. California, Fanboy Expo, Walker Stalker, Disneyland we are going to do. But kind of the others, I didn't really film much of the convention itself. I mostly just got pictures of the celebrities and of the venue, not necessarily filming, because before like 2017 we didn't really have the best camera. This was shot with Josh's digital camera, so I've already have a series where I talk about people I've met. So the conventions I don't really want to retread since I didn't film much. But we're doing California, and we'll definitely at least do one other Disneyland. We'll see. I'll go through the archive and see if there's anything left. But we start with the California trip. This was our second trip, as you can see. The first trip was in 2007. It was a high school graduation trip. Our uncle and aunt went with us, our parents, and the main goal was to get on movie or television. We got on TV. I do have where I talk about the background we've done. Criminal Minds we did, and Till Death, the Brad Garrett show. We met celebs, Jay Leno, and a few others, Howie Mandel, but this one we get more in depth into the people we see. And this took place April 14th, 22nd, 2015. So this is where it all began. And I did have to turn the volume completely off because we have a slideshow to start. And it was the OC theme, obviously copywritten. But this is just us. There's my uncle and my father. This was a guy's trip. Just Uncle Hank, our dad, and me and Josh. It was a pretty cool time. Good time to be alive back in 2015. And what kind of... he was acting like he was a star, being paparazzi'd. Yeah, I think, this is kind of the airport. Okay, we're in California now. This is kind of Chinese theater. And in a minute, I think we see a street artist paint a mural, Age of Ultron. That's cool. Jimmy Kimmel Live, which we will do. We will be on that show. And I will have to cut because some of this, obviously, you don't want to go through the Hard Rock Cafe. Oh, the Viper Room, Johnny Depp. And we're on, here it is. He was fantastic. Obviously, can't take a painting home in the plane. Got a little bit of the Chinese theater. Me and Josh switched off between filming. So I can't say with accuracy which one of us started. I want to say Josh did, but I could be wrong. This is the Hollywood Walk of Fame, and I think we'll skip to the museum now. And this is the Grauman's Chinese Theater during the day. Tom Hanks. And if you never get to go to California and see the real thing, there is a sign prints just like this at Disney's Hollywood Studios. Obviously not the same people. There's Josh with a wax figure. There's with Johnny Depp. There's me and Marilyn. Always gotta get a picture with Marilyn. Then I think, yeah, this is the Hollywood Museum. You can kind of see it there. You know, I haven't watched this in a while. I kind of skimmed to see if we could make a video out of it, and I think we can, but a lot of this I don't remember. We filmed it, we kind of had to rush through this. I mean, we spent probably an hour or so in there, but you could spend all day in there. The reason we only had an hour is because later on during this day we went to see the celebrity homes. Okay, this you had legends in the special effects arena. Rick Baker, obviously Stan Winston. This guy, I'm not as familiar as these two. And then we get to the Universal Monster Legacies here. Jack Pierce, Wolfman, and a bunch of others. And then Lon Chaney Sr. Is that a... Okay, that's there. The reason, y'all, the camera is so high is so the light in here will not cast a shadow. This is at the place. So, Lon Chaney Sr., and then, of course, Bud Westmore for Planet of the Apes. We get to the Silence of the Lamb prison location, and I think I get a shot, yeah, 1991. And this is where Clarice sat. Obviously not the same set, but they recreated it. Yep. So this would have been where the master Anthony Hopkins is in The Silence of the Lamb, Hannibal Lecter. And our Uncle Hank would go on to body double for Anthony Hopkins in a couple Thor films, couple of Avenger films, and in Solace, I want to say, was the film picture of the Grand Budapest Hotel. And we skip ahead here, we get to the car from, why am I blanking? Why am I blanking? Night Stalker, right? Nightcrawler, right? Nightcrawler, Night Stalker. Completely different movie. I cannot leave without showing these. These were stuff Marilyn Monroe, Norma Jean wore, and they have quite a few of them. So this was neat to document. I am a big Marilyn Monroe fan. So these are neat. These are clothes she actually wore. So pretty cool to see in person. I forgot that we saw these. So I'm glad we filmed this for posterity. We filmed a segment for Jimmy Kimmel during the show, and I don't think we could bring our camera in, but we managed to snap a few pics with our phone. And this is a segment with Guillermo called Mucho. And this is kind of some of the behind the scenes stuff there. We actually filmed the segment twice. Bret Michaels was performing at the Hard Rock on the Walk of Fame there. So we got to see him perform pretty much on the front row there. I hope that shows up pretty well. These celebrity meetups are not my are not something I film. I'm not using them for any kind of profits or anything, just to show. And I think this is Pop Candy's TV, so don't don't copyright me here. But such a good video. This is my dad. Here's me and Josh. We were the first ones to meet Tim Allen, and now we see the video. I'm glad Josh did this where you see the video and then we cut to the picture. That is great. Great editing, Josh. Josh used to edit all our trip videos. Now we kind of do our own thing and I edit my own trips. But this is great. My uncle photobombed my picture. But great to see. This was really the first big celebrity. I want to say Stan Lee was maybe before this and Jay Leno. But this is Kiernan Shipka, who we did meet straight away after Tim Allen. My dad, obviously the first one to meet her. And we had not seen Mad Men yet, so we didn't know what she was from. The other people kind of had to tell us, but obviously we're going to take a picture. Now we've seen the show, and she's been on some other stuff. Could not be any nicer. So it was great to meet her. And this was all our uncle's doing. He asked a security guy where we could meet celebrities, and he said, just go wait in the back behind Jimmy Kimmel, and as they do the show, they'll come out and meet the fans. Most of them. Courtney Cox was not one of them. She sped away. We might have video of that. Hopefully we do. Star Wars Celebration in 2015, and this was right when Disney had purchased Star Wars from George Lucas, so everybody was hyped. I think Carrie Fisher, Mark Hamill was there, and a couple other people. I think Anakin was there, but we waited 3 hours just to get inside, and by that time all the big names were sold out. Mark Hamill, a couple others, but I wanted to meet Ray Park, Darth Maul, also Toad in X-Men, and that guys. Anyway, we met Ray Park after a 3-hour wait, and coming up you'll see we did meet JJ. Well, we didn't meet. This is JJ Abrams right here. Kathleen Kennedy we don't talk about. She back then she was okay, but right now not the best for Star Wars, that's for sure. But JJ was say he was down here maybe 15 feet, 10 feet, and he's like, I'll get to y'all. So we're kind of mentally preparing to at least get a picture with him, maybe film some. But then this lunatic like jumps the barricade where they were filming. This isn't a barricade, but there's like a metal barricade. Jumps the barricade even though he had already told us that he was going to work his way down there. So then security swoops in, they get JJ, whisk him away, and as he's leaving, he's like, sorry guys, and then I don't even know what happened to the guy who jumped the barricade, probably arrested. But this is probably our one encounter with JJ. Let me set the mood. Our uncle, there's, the building where the show takes place, then there's kind of a pathway, and then there's a fence on this side where there's parking for the celebrities that can go straight to their car and drive away. But there's also to the right side kind of this, not amphitheater, but kind of stage where sometimes bands perform. Our uncle went past the gates, went to the stage, and started kind of playing, or he was kind of just checking what they were doing, and someone was testing out the guitars, and they said, "Hey, you want to check the piano, make sure it's tuned." So anyway, he worked his way to the stage while they were filming. Look at this. He's right there. Right, and I think, is this Chris Brown? I'm not too familiar. So they're performing here, Jamie Foxx, and our uncle's right here, right here on the stage. That is incredible. Our dad not see, our dad not as bold, so he stayed behind, and he did meet Guillermo, but our uncle right on stage as we're at Star Wars Celebration. Go to Staples Center, and obviously around this time Kobe's still playing, but we went, I think it's attached to Staples Center. We did a taping of Sports Center, and they interviewed Julius Randle, who is now a New York Knick, but back then he was a Laker rookie. I think we get a couple of the statues. Yep. Kareem, Magic, Jerry West, Wayne Gretzky. That's cool. And I think we get a couple of the show. And this is the, here it is. Sports Nation, not Sports Center. But we were a part of the taping, so that was neat. And that's Corey Maggette. So that's neat to be a part of this. Oh, there's Julius Randle right there. That's neat. After the show, you could get pictures. Obviously, Julius Randle had left at, before this because he filmed this segment and left. But this was cool to get picture with Corey Maggette. I remember watching him play back in the day. All of them. See, this we knew because there were a bunch of kids playing, and they told us that this was David Spade's house. And we get a few pictures of the Hollywood sign. And we met Guillermo also, Chevy Chase's house. Then we get a couple good pictures of the skyline. I don't remember whose camera this was, but that was a cool shot. This is Ringo Starr's house, or gate, really. And I think that's it. Then we go to, oh, I don't know why those were mixed in. Okay, now we get to Chinese theater. Ben Stiller, couple of legends in here. We did film some of Sports Nation. We're going back a little in time, but had to throw this in here. we're able to film. I thought we couldn't film, but my mistake. We were able to film them getting ready, and there's Julius Randle coming to the show. I don't know where he's going. I guess getting something, getting prepared for the show. But had to throw this in here because I forgot. You know, it's been almost 10 years uh, in filming and watching this, so you know, I don't remember all that we filmed. And this is Sports Nation the show, so not my video in any means, but this is Julius Randle on the Sports Nation. So this was neat. I think it does show a clip of the crowd in a minute, maybe. But it was so cool to be a part of the show and be that close to Staples Center. And obviously, seeing Julius Randle, would have loved it to be Kobe, but that was still cool to see. I know, nerd alert, but my uncle, my dad, and then right here between the tall girl, they're like 6 foot at least. I don't know why they were in the front, but that is not my decision. But somehow I'm right here, and the smallest person is right between all these tall people. So anyway, that was cool to see, and obviously they intercut it with the show that's being recorded that day. We kind of shot it on our own, and Guillermo, comedy legend, it was not hard to laugh at anything that he said. And this is another segment they do where they stop people on the streets, and I guess he tries to like make fun of them. But my uncle saw the cameras set up, so we just kind of went by it, and they chose my uncle first, and then the way I was dressed, he obviously had his eyes set on me, which will play. And of course, this is Jimmy Kimmel. This is not in any way my video, but it is cool to show you. So you tried to mess with his hair there. Ah. Ah. Okay, this is not me. So he tries to get people to react to stuff he says. Here we go. Here's me. See, look at my setup. I got the jeans, this belt, then like a gray shirt, then the tie to match the kind of fedora hat. I got this to wear to England, but for whatever reason, I decided to bring it to California and kind of dress up because we are going to the Jimmy Kimmel show. Someone my uncle talked to gave us tickets after we did, 2 times filming that Guillermo. So he was able to talk him into getting us tickets. So we're dressed up to meet Michael B. Jordan, which we'll show in a minute. But he just had a field day with how I was dressed. Oh, it was so funny though. It was hard for me to kind of try and play it cool. Jimmy Kimmel's skit that we just saw, we did go to Universal Hollywood, and a cool story about it is we went to Universal Hollywood, not in the theme park. We went backstage. Well, I mean, this is where we filmed, but And I talk in depth about that in the background TV stuff we've done and show clips and tell stories. But the gist of it is the wardrobe couple, husband and wife, dressed me and Josh in the same shirt. And while in between takes, they showed us quite a bit because at 3 a.m. we were really the only ones that wanted to do any kind of scenes. So the director liked us and put us in front and center because of the wardrobe people. But anyway, the wardrobe people toured us around backstage and showed us where they filmed most of the Universal Monster movies. Frankenstein, that scene there. But this is us on a 2015 trip. Oh, here's the Back to the Future set. But we actually went to the theme park and enjoyed it. This, I think, is right before they added the Harry Potter stuff. The Waterworld show is one of the best shows I've ever seen. But this is the Back to the Future. And Adam the Woo, if you follow his channel, a friend of ours, he does a lot of these kind of VIP walking tours. And he gets obviously better shots than I'll ever get. The trees were up. They were filming something during this time. I can't remember what. But it is amazing to see the backlot, and they actually use their backlot, unlike Hollywood Studios or Universal Studios Florida. They used to use it for Guts and Nickelodeon. And back in the day before Hollywood Studios was Hollywood Studios, it was MGM Studios. They filmed a few things there, but it is cool to see if you're ever obviously in California. I highly recommend going and checking out Universal Hollywood. They've added a bunch since we've been there. We haven't been back since 2015 for Universal Hollywood. We went to Disneyland obviously in 2018, but we'll skip ahead. Maybe the Michael B. Jordan stuff is next. Here is us on the show. Hopefully there's video. And this is John Stamos. Could not meet him. He was running late for something, but Michael B. Jordan. And here's the video from Pop Candy's TV. Oh, this is the real life Superman. Did we get one of Michael B. Jordan? This is John Stamos, and out. We had just filmed the show. He did his part first, and I ran out to try and get a picture with him. But as you see here, I was too late. I think we do get a shot of me kind of running toward him. I did get to get a picture of him. I just not with him. Let's see if it shows it here. He did spend quite a long time, but again we shot with Michael B. Jordan as well, and he left after his segment, so did not line it up. Maybe we'll see him leaving. I think so. Okay, yep. See, there's me. I did not make it in time. That's him leaving. But oh, there's me walking into frame. I did not realize that. That's funny. he got a good shot of me. And is this Michael B. Jordan? This should be Michael B. Jordan here. Yeah. And we did meet Michael B. Jordan. So that's neat. And we were kind of in the back, so it takes a little bit for there. There we go. There we are. So there's Michael B. Jordan. Here we are here, kind of in the front row, and then I think Josh and my dad are somewhere in here. I don't know why we were separated, but we got in a good spot where they filmed the crowd. This is probably hard to see, but Michael Rooker and Sean, did we get a picture of Sean? I think Sean is, there's Sean, right here, that's his head. He was whisked away by security, and you can see here Michael Rooker embraces the crowd. This was the first time we met him, but we will see him plenty of times over the next decade. Well, on the next 8 years anyway. uh, but he was and still is a national treasure. He is crazy, but in a good way. And we met Chris Hardwick, who we did do a TV episode with. Is it at night or something like that? And this is Courtney Cox leaving without meeting the fans or anything. I didn't have my Scream poster back then to sign, but I could have at least got a picture with her. But apparently she was late going somewhere. I could not stop for 1 second to greet her fans. Here's a video by Pop Candy's TV. See, we were all waiting there, but she doesn't even stop. She goes straight to her car and whisks away. And I want to say this is the last day we were in California, and this is when we did the tour going around to celebrities' houses. Obviously, we did that on our own too, but this was more an in-depth look. And I couldn't tell you all the houses. I think Bela Lugosi's is somewhere in here. But we'll just keep it playing in the background. Hope you enjoyed this kind of look back to the back to the past, not the future. But this look at 2015 California trip, it was a very cool trip. Later on in 2018, we would go back to California, not Hollywood. We would go to Anaheim, and that, if there's enough footage, will be our next video in this kind of trips series. But hope you enjoyed. It was cool going back down memory lane, and hope you enjoyed seeing the footage that we shot back then, pre-YouTube. Well, we had a YouTube video, like I explained, but not kind of vlogging, if you will, back then. We would have had some cool videos if we had. But anyway, live and learn. Like, subscribe, share with a California Hollywood movie lover, and go check out the background work we've done and my other channel, Jack23. If you want to check some spoof films out that we shot, me and my brother and friends. Anyway, Until next time, keep collecting.